ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ. So today I think what we'll explore is um, the nature of anxiety that's building up around us and how that impacts us in our daily life and how we can learn to regulate our own self, how we can learn to regulate. So we're not changing anything, we're just regulating. We know which time to move forward, we know which time to move back. Regulation. And the way we become comfortable with regulation is that as we become more and more present, there are moments when you go into that stillness, there are moments that when you go into that silence, and then it's disturbed. And disturbance, no matter how much you think it comes from the outside, it's always the ripple in the mind. It's like a ripple. And that ripple very quickly becomes a wave. And then very quickly becomes a whole tornado. The whole story behind that little judgment. That little judgment. Doesn't mean we don't judge. It means how do we regulate ourselves when everything around you becomes relatively chaotic? Chaotic through all that was stable, all that could never change. All of a sudden, it's just turned upside down, like it was last year with the lockdowns, like it's been done with some people with health. All of a sudden, everything is just turned the other way around. How does one learn to navigate through that without getting into depression, without getting into anxiety, without adding to what's already going on? How do we sit with, how do we endure suffering? How do we endure suffering? And are we able to endure suffering? Or do we just want a quick fix? So I'm feeling low. Do I just take a couple of pills to make me feel kind of okay? Or do I look at, well, what's going on here? Do I look at there is something, when a feeling comes back to you, like any pain, there are only two versions of things. Life is duality. So there's a version in which you contract and there's a version in which you expand. When you're in pain, you contract. When you get a sting in your hand, that sting, that pain tells you you're contracting. That pain tells you something isn't right. Something isn't right. And a lot of the time, we try and fix things outside, thinking things outside aren't right. Relationships, people, family, this, that, and the other. But perhaps it's the way we look at things. Perhaps it's things we give priority, things we give value. And that will determine the quality of your life, right? That will develop your life. So for example, say you have a toothache, and that toothache takes you into, well, we describe it as hell, would we not? What would you give to get out of that? What would you give? Anything. So when we find that we are suffering, our natural reaction is to move away from it. We can't endure it. Sometimes when we are going through a psychological space, it helps to be able to endure it, helps to be able to sit with it. Do you have a seat there? Is there a chair there?
No, it isn't.
Yeah, cheers. Meditation practice, the more we become aware, the more we begin to recognize a lot of this stuff that's happening within us, we have some capacity to be able to regulate it. So there's a few things that we need to then take act upon. So having the thought, the idea is one thing, yeah? But that doesn't motivate you. That is not the intention. There is no energy in it. So we can have a thought, yes, my intention is that I shall regulate myself, but we don't do anything about it. So that's the second bit that we are coming to now. All actions are delivered through an intention. All actions. And we can make an intention that is we are unaware of, just being directed in a particular place. Relationships can do that. Work environments can do that. We don't intend to be there in 10 years' time, but we end up there. We don't intend to be there. Unconscious intention. Nothing can happen without your intent. Or you have the ability to influence what is happening through a deliberate intent, a deliberate choice. So the first choice to recognize is to allow yourself the freedom to step away and create some mental immunity from those who are toxic to you. If the environment is toxic, then it doesn't gel with you. Don't force yourself into it. Mental immunity, emotional immunity. The world's going to judge you anyway, irrespective. Makes no difference who you are, what you are. But you need to ensure that you don't add to that noise. Emotional immunity. Importantly, in order to ensure that that intent, it's autumn, it's the time to plant the seeds, it's time to harvest. You've done some work, had a bit of a knock around over the last few years, come to a particular position. Now the position is to intend. I intend to ground myself. I intend to look after my health. I intend. It's a deliberate choice. And out of that choice, it's like a fractal. Anyone knows what a fractal is? A fractal is a pattern that keeps repeating itself. It's like a mathematical pattern, just keeps repeating itself. It's everywhere. It's in the stars, it's in the leaves, it's outside, it's in raindrops, flowers, it's everywhere. Snowdrops, the whole thing. Everywhere you have fractals. The whole universe consists of these frequencies, these fractals. When we have a thought and we act with intention, we create a fractal. It's a fractal. It's like an energy. And the more we direct our focus towards it, the bigger this energy becomes. And you achieve your output. So intention is a very powerful tool that you and I all have. But seldom do we use it. Seldom. Seldom. And that consciousness, that awareness that comes with using it with awareness, you will find that once you exercise it, truly exercise, without polluting it for your egoic gain. Yeah, intention doesn't have an egoic gain. Desire does. Intention does. Intention is just wanting to do, right? Just the willingness. And through that, through this awareness, through this focus, through this continuous maintenance of that intention, and you do it for 3 days, just for 3 days. Any intention, provided it's not polluted through our egoic sense of self. An intention to express yourself for what you are. No egoic, is it? Intention. I want to rule the world. egoic. No, just keep it simple. And with that intention, we open. And through that, you and I begin to recognize a number of things. One, we align with what is. Problem is, we're disconnected. We're disconnected from ourselves. We have abandoned the most sacred thing that you have, your heart. You've abandoned it. I've abandoned it. Don't know where we're running to. Lost our way. Have no moral compass anymore. Don't know what's right, don't know what's wrong. Where's it gone? It's happened over a period of time. Those who saw it were called insane. Before they used to burn them. Now they're just theorists. Well, that's improvement, I guess. So this realization is where humanity is coming to. Intention to turn your back on all that does not serve your highest good. Not your bank balance, not your status, but your highest good. When you look back and you say, yeah, I think I did it for the right reason. Highest good. And the heart knows. This is what it means to awaken. To awaken. It's not phase, that's the nature of the illusion. That's why it's the illusion. Because it's its nature. That's what it is. It's like a snake. It's nature. You don't blame it to be venomous. It's just the way it is. It's the nature of the ego to corrupt. That's just the nature of it. Just to bring our intent, call it that. More sort of way you want, what you want. So the whole thing begins with intention. Intention begins with what feels right. Not what you think is right. What feels right. Where you get, and how do you know? So my teacher gave me a great tip. He said, if you sit with people and even for a moment you feel, the word is man, the inner space, your inner space having calmed down, it's okay to stay there. But the moment you see it getting activated, time to move. Never got it, but you realize that. You realize that. No, regulation. You have that control. Exercising intention. Yeah, I need to regulate myself. In that, you claim your power. And that's what it's all about. Yeah, don't wait for anyone else. It's not coming. Yeah, got to do it for yourself. All of us, each one. But we have the capacity to do it and are doing it. But first, cultivate some sense of peace. That's the starting ground. Otherwise, we're trying to fix something when we ourselves don't know what peace is. What you're trying to get to. If you distill down to what is it that we're all looking for, you will find it goes down to the word inner peace, within which there is safety, there is security, there is no hate, there is no fear, there is no ego trip, but life still is. And that's where meditation takes us, to the very gate, of that which is absolutely beyond recognition at the moment to the general. But those who are regulars with meditation will report many things: health, well-being, sense of self, where the focus is, quality of life, healing after an injury, recognizing laws to navigate through what we need to go through. But the fundamental is meditation in itself. So with that, we will go with our meditation. So we always begin with the body. So first, our intention, right? So going back to that, the theme of today, intention. So the intention is purposeful, that you purposefully wish to know, recognize what's going on with you in the moment of now. Okay? That's the intention. And in order to do that, you need to look at what's going on with your body. And to do that, let's sense our body. So as you breathe in, bring your focus to your whole body as best as you can. And just see what's going on with you. So first, bring your focus to the physical sensations. If you were to scan the body from the top of your head moving down towards your feet, and imagine there's a hula hoop above your head. And as it comes down, it lights up the sensations in your body. See if you can notice the sensations become dominant. So notice if there's anything dominant. And if there is, locate it. Whereabouts is it? So we're just doing a physical check-in. And whatever you're sitting on, recognize, notice the fact that you're held in place. In other words, you're not going to go anywhere. And by doing so, you can relax the body somewhat. Allow yourself to be here right now. And then if you bring your focus to where the body makes contact with your seat, you'll notice that there are sensations there. Remember, our intention is simply to notice what's going on, objectively. And then as we look at those sensations, notice where they are. Breathing in, we can bring this focus upward so we become aware of our hips. So again, very purposeful, very deliberate, and all we're doing is just lighting of our body. And in doing so, noticing what's going on there. Gently bring your focus down your thighs. From your knees, move your focus down towards your ankles. Feet. And then see if you can bring them to the soles of your feet. You can bring them to the soles of your feet. Whenever your mind walks off, just come back to my voice. Come back to the seat you're on. Notice that your back is straight. Shoulders are open, not hunched. As you breathe in, you bring your focus gently up from your lower back towards your middle back. Again, noticing the sensations. This is your diagnosis. Shoulder blades. And as you do this, that part of the body begins to relax and soften. Then bringing your focus towards your shoulders. From your shoulders, move your focus down to your elbows. From your elbows, move it to your wrists. And then coming to the palms of your hands. Notice all of this is to do with you. Focus totally on yourself. Becoming aware of your fingers, and then moving your focus towards your eyes. Now, notice the darkness. Awareness exists, and fundamentally, that's all you and I are. See if you can just the awareness. Awareness of darkness, awareness of the back of your eyelids. And then as you breathe out, you allow your eyes to soften. Next breath in, bringing your focus to your mouth. Notice your tongue. Does it feel firm? Does it feel soft? Allow it to soften. Notice the sensations within your mouth, on the roof of your mouth. And then as you breathe out, you relax your face as best as you can. On the next breath in, once again, become aware of your body as best as you can. Your intention was to look what's going on. Was to look what's going on. Your intention is simply to be present. No judgment. Bring your focus to that. We mean the way we feel. How does your mental space feel? Tired? Exhausted? Fatigued? Attentive? Fresh? Clear? Present? Drowsy? Alert? Next breath in. Bring your focus to the center, and as your chest moves, notice that it moves in rhythm with your breath. Notice there are sensations around your ribs. There are sensations even around your back. On your next breath in, see if you can move the focus a bit more central, right to the very center of yourself, your very heart. And you want to hold your focus at your heart as best as you can. And as you hold your focus there, notice how you're feeling. Acknowledge how you're feeling right. Do you feel happy? Do you feel content? Do you feel anxious? Is this moment settled? Or does this moment feel unsettled? Not in an hour's time, not yesterday, just for this moment. Is this moment enough? And on your next breath out, Open your awareness to all the sounds and noises around you. Not looking for anything, simply listening. Notice there are sounds that may be close to you. Listening. No judgment, no commentary, no analysis, just listening. Once again, simply notice what's going on. On your next breath in, bring your focus just beneath your nose and begin to notice that the breath is breathing by itself. Free, or does it feel erratic? Mapping your breathing. Mapping your breathing. By itself. Every time your focus gets distracted from your breath, commit it yourself. Stay with your breath. Notice, and then the out breath has a start and it finishes. The in breath has a start and an end. The out breath has a start and an end. Bring your focus to your out breath in particular. following it all the way till the end. And as you do this, you allow your body to soften, to remove any trace of anxiety, stress, with the outer breath, alert yet relaxed. Stay with your breath. No matter how many times you get distracted, you always come back to your breath. The anchor. Following your out breath all the way to subtle, intention, choice. Does your breath feel fast or does it feel slow? Long or does it feel short? If it is short, no need to make it long. If it's long, no need to make it short. Things are the way they are. Just as the everything by exercising the ability to listen. Just the attempt to try and listen. No need to hear a sound. Your next breath out. Once again, we open our awareness to all the sounds around us, including the sound of our breath. Using the sound of the bell to move us deeper into this silence. To be, just to be for a few moments. Take a moment to intention. Notice what's going on with us. Notice how your inner space feels. Does it feel settled or unsettled? Notice age, no judgment. How this moment becomes the next. Open from yourself. Smell. Notice that even the sound it finishes, you still. All of which is cultivated within you, not from anywhere else. Acknowledge that. Gently coming back to your breath, bringing your focus just to your nose, and sitting with, sharing this collective silence. And in silence, everything one becomes one. Again, notice you're still where you began, down your thighs, from your ankles. Notice the soles of your feet, becoming present, backs, arms and arms and hands. Relax is still closed, mouth is still closed, and the face. As you breathe in, taking a moment to thank yourself for taking this opportunity to give yourself some self-time, time to balance.